John Hammond. He said, "Hey, Cary, used to listen to you on KZAP. That was a big one because everybody knew you from KZAP, you know. And glad to see you're still out there. My question is, what's a good way for a diabetic to maintain metabolism during this crazy time?"
Well, actually, I did answer him as well. I saw that question, and I told him the two big no-nos for a person with diabetes: sugar and refined carbohydrates. And that's probably why you are where you are. You know, it's a lifestyle disease, Robert. It's not just like a genetic abnormality that just, you know, you're born with it. Type 2 diabetes is a lifestyle issue, and it can be completely maintained and taken care of with the proper diet and exercise. Type 1 diabetes is a genetic problem. Used to be, you know, and I say this because my father and brother were both type 1 diabetics. It's where the pancreas just doesn't secrete insulin. So that's a little bit different animal. It's increasing as well as type 2, but not nearly as much. Type 2 diabetes, Robert, believe it or not, they estimate by 2025, 50% of everybody in this country will have type 2 diabetes. Wow. I mean, it's a staggering thing. 1 out of every 2 people, again, something that's caused by things we don't do or do too much of. And sugar and complex carbohydrates cause the body to secrete insulin. You got to have the insulin to take that the sugar that it breaks down to and deposit in the cells where it's used for energy or stored as fat for future events. And in the past, that was okay because when we didn't know where food was coming from, we wanted to have that stored energy. But now, because we eat all the time too much in the wrong foods, it actually overtaxes the body as far as insulin, and you develop something called insulin resistance. There's little receptors on the cells to handle the insulin as it's bringing the sugar into the cell. As you keep taxing it, eventually it just wears out, and your body's got to produce more and more to try to push it into the cell. And when you do that, you have too much, and you run into problems, big problems. So if you cut back on the sugar, you cut back on the refined carbs, then you're lessening the load on the body to take care of them. And also, if you can combine it with some type of fasting regime, that's the best. And in future episodes, I really want to talk about that, Robert.
Yeah.
Intermittent fasting, for example, is really, really a positive thing that we can do for our health. But I told him, yeah, do that and some exercise. Now that we're inside, walk as often as you can. If whatever you can do to move to get the body to use up some of that stored energy, so that you can help yourself out, because it's not just an immediate problem. In time, it leads to heart problems, high blood pressure, different problems in the brain, even the bones. So it's an insidious program. But the bad news is a lot of people have it. The good news is you can do something about it.
Right, and that's good advice for it, Cary.